What's up everyone, I'm Gooshy, and I got another new legendary that got added to the game along with the Rivals release. This is a legendary sword called the Wrath of Sarugami. In this video we're going to be going over what exactly this legendary sword does and why I believe that this is one of the best swords in the game. So without further ado, let's get into it. So the Wrath of Sarugami is a legendary water stance katana. With the legendary perk, regular parries are disabled, but perfect parries become a chain of 3 attacks. If you played the single player, this is the exact same perk as the Sarugami's armor, which was actually one of the better armors and offered a really unique perk. And so I have to admit, at first, when hearing about this katana, I really wasn't that impressed. On paper, the legendary perk is just alright, but the major difference from the single player, and what really makes it more powerful in Legends, is the fact that there are a ton of synergies with different perks that have already been in the game. Most notably, we have Intimidating Counter and Leeching Parry. Intimidating Counter gives perfect parry counterattacks a 50% chance to also deal damage to nearby foes. But what makes this so good on Wrath of Sarugami is that each one of those perfect parry chain attacks can proc Intimidating Counter. And so with a 50% chance to proc this, odds are that you will damage nearby foes at least once throughout those 3 chains. And so the combination of Intimidating Counter on Wrath of Sarugami provides a really good AoE attack. Also, because these are perfect parry counter attacks, these are one of the safest moves that you can use. And so with this, we have a very good offensive neutral game attack. And when I mean neutral game, I'm referring to when you're not using your ultimate or ghost weapons, but instead just engaging in melee combat. The next perk that really synergizes well with the Wrath of Sarugami is Leeching Parry. This states that a perfect parry restores a small amount of health and refills your resolve faster. So more on the defensive side, as we're trying to proc the legendary perk, each parry that we get will restore your health. I made a video on this perk a while back, and I said that this is one of the most underrated perks because if used right, we really don't have to use any healing abilities or gear. So I think this perk works perfectly well with the Samurai in particular. Before we had to really rely on Spirit Pull or Explosive Blade with Blessed Strikes to get some health back. With this increased healing, we can go for more of an offensive ability and can switch out Blessed Strikes for something else. To take this even further, for the Samurai, one of the new techniques for perk slot 2 is Healing Strike. Killing an enemy with a perfect parry counterattack restores 50 health. So honestly, along with Leeching Parry, you should be regaining your health every time you attack. And so altogether, this is kind of the build that I threw together really quickly, utilizing both Intimidating Counter and Leeching Parry with Wrath of Sarugami. Of course, you want to increase that perfect parry window. I think for some people, all you need is that 1 slot on the katana. But for those who have a little slower reactions like me, don't be afraid to throw an extra perfect parry window either on Dirt Throw or one of the charms. I mostly use Dirt Throw for that perfect parry window increase, and for the Rancid perk, just to weaken specific enemies. Just in case I mess up and don't land that perfect parry, I have that Healing Gourd with damage reduction and injured resolve gain to again get more resolve back and heal up if I mess up real bad. And just to show you guys why I think that this is one of the best katanas in the game, here's some footage of me doing some solo Nightmare. And this is kind of the measurement I use to test out builds to see how good they are. I've tried a lot of times, but usually I can only solo Nightmare on my Hunter, and I only get to around wave 3. On all the other classes, I pretty much die wave 1. So props to all you solos out there. But with this build, I'm actually able to match my Hunter and get around to the same wave around wave 3. And this build isn't even optimized at all. This just shows how good the synergy is between these 2 perks and the Wrath of Sarugami. Usually with a melee focused class like the Samurai, I usually get lost in just straight up attacking each enemy. Because this legendary focuses on perfect parrying, it really forces me to slow down and read the enemy's attacks better. This doesn't mean you have to play completely defensively and always wait for the enemy's attack, but it does give you an incentive to slow down just a little bit and not attack all the time. Again, by itself, the Wrath of Sarugami isn't that good, but because of these perk combinations, it provides a very good offensive and defensive tool in the neutral game. If you guys tried this out, let me know in the comment section down below what you guys think. I really hope you guys found this helpful, and if you did, please drop a like and consider subscribing, as you can find all things Ghost of Tsushima right here. As always, thank you guys for watching, hope to catch you next one, and GG.